Up, I'm here with Tino from the Sophisticated Man. How you doing, buddy? It's been a couple weeks.
It has been, man. It's been a good couple weeks though. Been really busy, man. But good to be back.
Yeah, you making millions of dollars?
Not yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, same here. I'm working on that too, man. No, I was telling you, like it's been a busy couple of weeks, and it's been kind of busy this week because I've been doing a few projects here and there for this company, and then working full time. So staying on my grind. So this is going to be a very relaxing Memorial Day weekend. I was looking into pool parties, but unfortunately, I've noticed that all the pool parties are going on today and not tomorrow.
I noticed that too. A lot of girls on guys' boats today.
Right. They're having a Barbie theme built pool party like at a place down the road. That's something I might crash, if I get time, but I got stuff I got to take care of this afternoon. So maybe I'll have to catch the next Barbie pool party.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, right. Well, hopefully the Barbies are cute.
Hopefully.
But yeah, today, guys, we kind of want to talk to you about like why it's good not to focus on women and kind of focus on other things. And this is kind of like we talked about this before, but we can continue to build upon this in this video and everything, and just stress the importance of kind of work. I mean, it's when you want to go become successful women, or yeah, it's good to kind of have that as a focus, but you don't want to make that your primary focus because there's more to life than just dating women and having sex and everything. There's actually stuff that you could be accomplishing for yourself out there. And it's important that we realize that as well, because like if we, fail to do that, like we're not going to grow and we're just going to be like, I think when you just kind of make women the primary focus of your life, I don't know, you kind of come off as being desperate in a way, right? I would think so.
Yeah, you definitely do. And I think the more women crazy you are, the more easy you are to fall to other vices, like maybe watching porn too much, maybe I don't know, staying up late, maybe going to bed at a bad time. Like you kind of fall into more dopamine habits that way because you're addicted to just like being around women, maybe having sex. It just leads to a lot of other negative things. So yeah, if you don't have your priorities straight, it can definitely mess you up.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think yeah, when you make that an obsession, I think that really, like I said, when I should rephrase it here. Sorry, I've had a long day so far, but like no, you should definitely like. It's good to have other focus because like it's good to grow because I mean when you grow, I mean first of all, it's showing that you're not making a woman a priority. You're not going to have those desperate traits. You're not just focusing on sex all the time. You're focusing on becoming a better you, which is in the end going to be more powerful because you won't take rejection personally all the time when you learn to become more confident and you focus on yourself. I don't know,
Mhm.
like you learn to create something better outside of just like having women.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is, the more you do that, what you just mentioned, like having a purpose, working on yourself, getting maybe in the gym, working on your physique, getting your money right, getting your style on point, like doing things that you genuinely enjoy, and you're not putting women on such a pedestal, that ironically makes them more attracted to you because they know that you have a life outside of just getting girls or getting phone numbers, getting laid. That is just inherently going to be more attractive for a woman. So it literally is a win-win. There's no bad things that come from that.
Right. And then when you actually create a life for yourself that is exciting, that's going to be appealing. That's going to be appealing to the woman who you're trying to meet because when you say you have all this stuff going on, that's going to make her interested in wanting to enter your reality and everything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the problem. Is most guys when they're trying to get good with women or try to talk to girls, they don't really have any life for the girl to enter. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they stand for. And you find most of the time those guys don't retain women very well. Maybe you can attract them initially because you maybe know how to talk potentially, maybe you know how to like be confident, but it's not going to last very long if you don't have
Mhm.
some kind of foundation for you to stand on and for her to jump in on too, because women want to be a part of your world. They don't want to be the entire thing. So you do have
Mhm.
to have other things going on.
Right. And I think when you're actually going out there and making shit happen for yourself and you're getting that confidence from all that experience and building a life for yourself, that is really going to like show in the way you communicate to a woman and everything too. Compared to if you're just focusing on women, they can sense that, a guy who has shit going on, the guy's just like, oh yeah, I just want some sex.
Oh yeah. No, it's literally like it's a sixth sense that girls have. They know if you're being needy. I mean, that's the key point of being needy is making it all about her and over pursuing and being obsessed with if she talks back, if she messages you back or she doesn't message you back and setting things up. I mean, if you're a guy on a mission, if you're a guy that has purpose, if you're a guy that focuses on his improvement, like yeah, you can include women in that, but you know that even if she doesn't like you, you're fine because you still have other goals, you still have other ambitions to worry about. The rejection is not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so like and that's what I found too. Like even like sometimes when I'd set up dates and women have flaked at the last minute, that I actually encourage that because like with all the stuff I have going on right now. So I mean just this week I had like maybe two opportunities that I kind of blew off to go, meet up with some women. I was
Mhm.
supposed to follow up, but I just said, I thought to myself, man, I'm focusing on this one contracting job and stuff, and it's bringing me some money. So to me, that was more important. Like I've had, and you're gonna realize this too as a guy when you have success with women, it's not going to really be as flavorful as it was when you first started doing it, and you're actually going to
Mhm.
find creating success for yourself is going to be more flavorful. You're going to put yourself first and your priorities first rather than someone else's.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so true. It's like, I mean, there's levels to this. When you start, it's like when you're riding maybe you're trying to ride a roller coaster for the first time. You've never done it. At first, it's scary. You don't know what to expect. It's intimidating. But when you do it and you realize, wow, I'm okay. This was actually fun. You do it so many more times and you realize, man, it's kind of not as fun as it was the first time because you just had that initial fear, that initial like nervousness behind it. I mean, girls are the same way. Once you start talking to them and getting some success, you're getting phone numbers, you're taking girls on dates, eventually you're going to be like, okay, this is fun and everything, but it's not that fulfilling as maybe doing something with my life or getting my income to a certain degree or helping impact the world in some way. You start to
Mhm.
realize that there's more fulfilling activities out there, even though that can be fun and a woman can
Oh, it
definitely
is
add to that.
fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. I mean, it's very enjoyable, and women they can add to what you're doing too. But if you make that the central focus, you're just not going to have as much of a payoff, I think.
Hmm. Right. And I think like when you can learn not to put an emphasis, like a focus on that, like I said before, you're just more. I don't know. I think you're a totally different guy than a guy who doesn't have any focus. Just it's like a confidence thing. If
Definitely,
you know what I'm talking about?
absolutely, yeah, because you know what you're worth. You know what your value is at that point.
Right. Now, what would you say? Like, we're talking about, just focus on other things besides women. What do you think? What are your top three things every guy should focus on? Just curious.
That's a good question. I think
No, I'm very deep.
I like it, man.
Thanks.
I would say number one is probably health and fitness. Like if you don't have that, I mean, what do you have? You have to start somewhere. So starting with health, it doesn't mean you need to be a bodybuilder or anything like that, but just have some kind of fitness routine, have a regimen, eat cleanly, get good sleep, drink water, do something active. So have some kind of health and fitness routine. I'd say that's probably number one.
Right. No, I like that because I've always been an advocate for, promoting fitness and,
Yeah.
working out. Sometimes I think I have a little bit too much to drink, so that's where I got to focus on. I like to
Hmm.
party too, but I mean, to me, that's
Hmm.
like my wellness and everything. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
get you after a long week, but
Hmm.
it's like getting back to what you said about like exercise and doing the gym. Like I found like yeah, that's always when I've done that, that's energized me a lot more.
Exactly.
It's helped me like put a make a change in my mindset when I see kind of results. I mean, if they're small results in muscle build or
Hmm.
weight loss, it's just good to have that achievement and everything. Because
Hmm.
when I and plus, like, it's also helps you develop discipline, self-discipline for yourself. Like, you're going to
Yep.
stick with your workout routine. Are you going to stick with the amount of reps you're going to do? Are you going to, sometimes, like, working out can be a pain in the ass. You don't want to do it, but are you
Hmm.
going to like say, F you, I'm going to just like go out there and work out? And that's going
Hmm.
to, and it's funny because that sort of stuff, when you're out there developing discipline for doing a workout routine too, it's going to help you develop discipline when you're trying to go out there and trying to meet women, and you don't want to, you get anxiety and you don't want to talk to them. And I mean, you can say to yourself, well, hey, fuck it, I don't care, I'm going to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's so many like additional things that the gym teaches you, just about life in general. I mean, dealing with resistance, like you mentioned, facing challenges, being disciplined, being consistent, um, and just having structure. Like knowing that if you have a routine that works, replicating that or optimizing off of that, it just builds so many positive habits. And yeah, it translates into pretty much every other thing in your life too.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and like and like when you have like a routine and like just a system for that, and then
Hmm.
like again, and it's like kind of like goal setting and stuff. It's like you find it, you figure that shit out, and you develop the same system for not just when you want to go with women, but like if you want to like leave a job, if you want
Hmm.
to, build a business, if you want
Yep.
to become more social and everything.
Hmm.
Funny thing, actually, this is actually like the 1 month anniversary since I left my dead end job, and
Nice.
yeah, I know I survived, and I'm actually doing a lot better. And the reason why I brought this up is because, like, towards probably back in February. Well, I've been kind of tired with my old job for a while, but I've been always wanting to go. But then just like I came to the point where it was just I was going and it was affecting my mindset and my confidence and everything. And I thought to myself, if I stay at this job, I'm probably going to be doing the same goddamn things 20 years from now, and I'm going to be
Hmm.
feeling the same goddamn way, probably feeling even worse about myself.
Yeah.
And so I took the initiative to go out there, apply for jobs. I said, it was funny because like it was towards the end of March, and and I said, my goal is to leave this crappy job by the end of April. I went out there, I went at interview after interview. I faced, resistance. I thought there were points where I thought I was going to get the job. And I said, well, screw it. I don't want it. It wasn't working out. They said, you're going to get it, but then they're like, we want to take a different direction. And then,
Mm.
same thing. You have when you have that discipline, you're not going to let that resistance hold you back. You're going to keep moving forward.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, because you just made me think about this when we were talking about like the whole gym thing and everything, this like
Yeah.
mindset and stuff like that. But it's the fact that I had that discipline, in which you'll be able to apply when you meet women as well. That you make shit happen. Then you know what, I made that shit happen, and you know what, it was even a fear. Even when I had the chance, I was a little anxious about doing it because just going into the unknown and everything.
Hmm.
Um, but you know what? It wasn't that bad. It's like it's weird, like how your mind, we talk about like your comfort zone and how your mind gets used to being a certain way. And when you want to make changes, that's that fear and anxiety and all that unknown that holds you back. And that can hold you back in many areas.
Hmm.
And and I was reflecting upon it, I'm like, well, shit, like, yeah, sure, it was nerve wracking, but it was the best thing that ever happened. Like a lot of good shit happened out of it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean that's a prime example there of just your ego getting in the way. Guys have egos that just prevent them from maybe moving forward or taking action because hey, it's scary or there's fear of that unknown, like you mentioned. And that's what the ego's doing. It's trying to protect you. It's well, quote unquote, protect you from harsh realities or rejection or failure. So you don't want to take that step. But if you just move past that and just get past your own preconceived notions about it or your own ego, your own pride, and you just take the action anyway, you start to figure things out as you go. It's like the saying goes, you don't get the confidence before you do something. You get the confidence after you do it. Like, you build the confidence. It doesn't just come up out of nowhere. Like, you do it and then you feel better about yourself. So it's like, that's kind of how everything works.
Right, exactly. I know. And then, like when you kind of push through that resistance and everything,
Hmm.
um, that's actually when you build that confidence. When you don't let the
Yeah.
fear hold you back. When you go out there and when you're trying to go talk to this girl, but that fear and anxiety is holding you back, and you just say fuck it, and then you go and do it, and you make it happen. Then
Hmm.
you feel great about yourself, and then you realize it's not as bad as it
Yeah.
was. I mean, even if you got rejected, who cares?
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like, you took action. I mean, that's what I say about when you make an approach with a girl. I've been saying this lately, but it's really not even about the girl, as weird as that sounds. Like, when you make approaches, it's really not about her. Like, her reaction doesn't really matter. It's about you as a man going after what you want and following your natural curiosities and your desires. You're just doing that. It can go good or it can go bad. Either way, you're still putting yourself out there. And if you focus on that, I think, as opposed to, man, is this girl gonna like me? Is she gonna give me her phone number, or any like external outcome? You're gonna get a lot well, you're gonna feel better about yourself, and you're also gonna get a lot more comfortable just doing that.
Right. I like what you just said though. Like, like just being, pushed through that. And then when you go out and just have that focus of going out there and actually pushing through that resistance rather than focusing on the outcome that you have with the woman. And I think when you can go and push through that resistance, even though it might take 1,000 approaches before, but the
Yeah.
more you do it, the more comfortable you get with being in your skin, the more comfortable you get with interacting with people. You're gonna like you're gonna be more confident, you're gonna gain more experience, and eventually you will get what you want to get. But you got to believe that you can have it,
Hmm.
even when you're frustrated as fuck, and you think you can't get it. You still got to keep on making it happen.
Hmm. Yeah, belief is huge. You got to believe that what you're doing is going to pay off and it's going to give you the results you're looking for. Otherwise, I mean, that's the only thing that's stopping you, honestly, is just your belief and like your mentality. So you got to get that in check too.
Right. I know, and like when you can become comfortable with that, I think that is when a woman's going to see that in you. Like
Yeah.
you're comfortable with yourself, you believe in yourself. But and that's based off the way you're communicating to her during the interaction, because they can read whether or not you're nervous and shit, or
Hmm.
and
Exactly.
but when you can learn to like just be at ease and everything and communicate that way in a confident manner, and that comes through experience. I mean, woman's going to see that, and hey, she might like you. You might get a date and some hot sex out of it. If not, you get rejected, you can just move on to the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, you get to learn to just deal with the punches as they come. Just kind of
Hmm.
learn to just be okay with getting rejected.
Hmm. Right. No, that's true, and I think like, and that's always a hard one there. So because sometimes even though I can deal with it, sometimes I still get frustrated about but it's just
Hmm.
again, it's just that awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the awareness, and it's just part of the process too. I think if you're not getting rejected, then you're just not taking enough action. And I feel like
Hmm.
that's true in any aspect. Like, bring it back to the gym. If you're not failing on a set, you're probably not lifting as much as you should be, because you eventually want to fail to know, all right, I only benched 195 for 5 reps today, and I failed at 5. Okay, so that means I need to keep doing that until I can do that comfortably. Then I increase the weight or increase the reps, and then eventually you fail again, and then you keep going, you keep increasing it. It's literally the same mindset. Is you have to fail. I mean, there's really no avoiding it.
Hmm. I know. I think most people just forget that failure is a part of the process. But you don't fail. You only fail when you give up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, I agree with that.
I had like a little motivational wall art my old job, and that was the one that said you only fail when you give up on stuff. And I think
Hmm.
a lot of people don't want to fail. They
Sure.
they look at failure as as defining who they are, instead of it defining it as the process of actually becoming, of creating, and just like growth. I think they
Hmm.
just have a different mindset about that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's just a negative stigma around it because I mean, nobody wants to fail, but it's just kind of you learn the most through failure, I believe. Like I've learned the most through my mistakes than most of my successes. Because
Hmm.
when you're succeeding, you're not really looking at what you're doing. You're kind of just like, all right, sweet, let's keep doing this. But when you're failing, you have to self-analyze and you have to look at it even harder. And you do kind of become more intentional. So failure and making mistakes, you're gonna learn a lot more, a lot faster.
Hmm. Right, exactly. And see, and I mean, and that's what you got to like just focus on your personal growth. And that's another thing to focus on more than women, because I think a lot of
Hmm.
guys, I mean, yeah, they want to become successful, but with women, but they fail to look at themselves and everything. Because again, that's what happens when you make women the primary objective of your world.
Hmm.
You over, and then you define yourself by how women treat you and everything, and you, instead of like
Yeah,
looking at yourself and being like, well, what am I doing wrong?
exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. I think a big mindset that guys need to understand when it comes to dating, relationships, really anything, you should still be a confident, charismatic, fun, enjoyable, exciting guy, fun guy to be around, whether you have 10 girls you're talking to or no girls you're talking to. Like that should not affect your level of self-belief or your level of self-confidence uh, tied to just how many girls you talk to. Because if that's the case, it's never real confidence. It's there because you have a factor that's outside of yourself. So it needs to still come from you, even if you don't have the results you want, because eventually you will get those results or whatever results you want because you have that confidence and that belief in yourself.
Right. No, I like that too, because like, see, being in, like I said, I go through a lot of periods where I go out on lots of dates and everything. But then it's, through those periods where I don't get anything, it gets frustrating, and you can, and you got to have something else to focus on, and kind of focus on you,
Yeah.
and just when you're going through that period, because not everything is, in life is an up, it's up all the time. There's always going to be down points, no matter what you're doing, and you got to be able to have the confidence to like push through all that bullshit, that when those moments come, when life comes crashing down for a bit, because it's not, I wish it would be up all the time. I'd be like fucking in heaven, less work, no
Mm.
stress, no challenges, be a lazy motherfucker. But sometimes I like it, because
Yeah.
when you have those downs, that's when it challenges you to grow and everything. I always,
Yeah.
when I go through some turns in my life, or some changes, I always, take that time to reflect and everything. Well, how did I get here? Or
Hmm.
why may this be happening? But also realize, well, this is a part of the process. This happened before. It's going to happen again.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, you brought up a good point. Things always being positive. I think if you really think about it, if it's all positive all the time, you don't really appreciate much. You're not as grateful, you're not as fulfilled because you always have it like that. So what's the point? It's always
Mhm.
good. It's always good. So there's nothing to be grateful for. It's like the saying, you can't appreciate the sun without a little bit of rain. And it's exactly true. Like you have to kind of be open to things not going your way, facing failure, facing rejection, you know, um, and being okay with that. I mean, I had earlier this month, like not even this month, but March, April was like somewhat of a down couple months for business. I was a little bit slower, wasn't getting as many
Mhm.
leads or clients, and it was frustrating. I was definitely like, "What's going on? I need to fix something." Slowly it's starting to fix itself now, but that moment felt annoying and stressful, but I needed that because it kind of helped me realize, all right, there's something that I can do to make myself better, to make this even more optimized. But if it never happened, I would have never looked at my own process. So you do need the bad times because I think it makes the good times that much more enjoyable.
No, I like that. No, that's true. Like I was saying, it's this. I think from those bad times you become stronger. Like even when you go through a big downturn in your life, you become you. I think if you handle it the right way, you become a lot stronger individual outside of that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like with the gym, it's a perfect analogy because the gym, you can use the gym analogy for basically anything. Like when you're overcoming that resistance, what happens? You build muscle. Like if you lift beyond your means and you fail and you come back to it and you use progressive overload, your muscles are going to get bigger. So it's the same thing with life. If you face failure, you face things that don't go your way, then next time you go about doing it, you're going to be stronger because of it. So it's literally the same mentality, and
Hmm.
I think it translates to so many different things.
Well, see, and I think that's why, like, you know, like it's better to like focus on a process, like especially when you want to become good with women, because like, I mean, if the guys who are not skilled at it or have really no experience, like if they're able to go out there and get the experience, they're going to have to develop that tough mindset and that confidence and that discipline to face the resilience until they can like become successful. But I think, but at the same time though, you should be focusing on maybe not like another challenge in your life too outside of that, because that way it's going to make things a lot easier, and plus you're going to learn from both experiences that you maybe can learn something like a certain like habit or that you did like in another area in your life, you can bring it into like women and stuff. The same with women, you can bring that into another area of your life.
Hmm. Yeah, if you're smart and self-aware, you can use the lessons you get in one area and apply it to another area. So I mean, there's always something to use in multiple ways.
Hmm. Right. But like, and it's just amazing how you can intertwine a bunch of things and bring them into like that's what I realized these past couple of years working on the self-development stuff and just
Hmm.
not all the stuff that I learned with like women, I just making my approaches I apply to when I'm trying to get leads for my business.
Definitely.
So, but you can definitely take that into your reality and stuff like that. So definitely so okay, you said fitness is a good thing. So what other thing like you think like business or
I mean, you can kind of intertwine business with purpose or just anything basically that you want to do in your life. I think anything that gives you strong meaning. Like I use the word purpose, but it just whatever resonates the most with guys. It could be your career, your purpose, your life, like that obviously needs to be the priority. Because if you don't have that, you basically don't have anything else. You have nothing, no foundation to stand on, and you just worry about getting chicks, but you have no purpose. Like I said, good luck keeping them around, because if
Mhm,
you don't have that drive in that direction of where you're trying to head into life, you can't bring a girl with you because she doesn't know where the fuck you're going because you don't know where you're going. So you need to have some kind of direction. You need to have some kind of compass internally of knowing where you want to go, who you want to be, and where you want to orient your life towards. So
mhm.
that's a huge one.
Yeah, why do you think most guys like lack purpose? Like where do you think is it just like their upbringing or just like where do you think that stems from?
Oh man, it's that's a really big topic right there. We could probably make a whole freaking podcast on that.
That'll be the next show maybe.
Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I think you could chalk it up to like the way the culture is now. They're just how men are generally. Like most men are lost today, and I think a big reason is because there's just a lack of masculine presence in these guys' lives when they're young.
Hmm.
They didn't have like a father figure, or maybe they didn't have somebody to kind of show them the way, give them advice, give them wisdom or anything. Um, so they resort to things like porn, dopamine, freaking binge eating snacks, junk food, playing video games. A guy doesn't have purpose in his life. He chases pleasure by default. So I think not having some kind of strong figure in his life early on, yeah, he's not going to know who he is growing up. He's going to lack that masculine energy. So that's a big one, is just not having that
Hmm.
around.
Right. No, but I think everyone like I think pleasure is what motivates us, because to become successful and develop as a person. Because like guys will do it just so they have pleasure, sex wise. when you think so?
I think it depends. I think everybody has different motivations. Like pleasure, the way I view pleasure, it's pleasure is something that can last and something that's more than just a short term. Because if you think of sex, like yeah, you get pleasure, but it's instant, and then after 10 seconds, like after you nut, you're fun, you're done. You don't feel any more pleasure after that. So for
Right.
me, at least, pleasure is more long lasting, like a relationship you build, or some kind of business that you build, or some type of like career that you build. Like that's more pleasurable, at least in my mind. So quick
Right.
hits,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
quick dopamine, it anything short term temporary pleasure, it doesn't lead to long term fulfilling uh anything really.
Hmm. No, that's good. I think that in the end, I mean, that's probably the good focusing on something like long term pleasure, this pleasure that you're going to keep around rather than the short term. I mean, some a little short term here and there is not bad, but to have it, be consistent could be bad. Like, and so it's definitely when you're kind of trying to work on something, like if you're chasing the pleasure, make sure it's something that's going to be everlasting, because that's going to be more meaningful because you put in the time, you put in the work and everything, rather than just something short term.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at any long term investment, it's just like a get rich quick scheme. You try to put in the money because you try to get quick money real quick. Like right now, never works because there's no foundation to building wealth. You don't have any positive habits from that. It's just a quick thing to think, oh, I'm going to get rich right now. Or you look at things like I don't know, like even delivery systems. You can get food delivered to your door without having to like go out of your house to go to a restaurant or to buy food and to cook it. And sometimes it tastes good, but it's probably really shitty for you. There's not a lot of good
Mhm.
protein or macros in it. It's very quick food. It's convenient, but it doesn't lead to really any positive things. So
Mhm.
in my mind, like most things that are quick and short term like that, they don't really lead to any positive results.
Right. No, I hear you. But sometimes it's good, but I haven't got any food delivered to my place in a long time. I like the work that it has to take that I have to take to go get stuff and even make
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. You feel better about it because you're like, wow, I actually put in some effort, and it's a different feeling.
Right. And I think, I mean, but see, now I can go to another topic about that, but I'm gonna like stop myself right there.
Yeah, you can branch out.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, I like it when we have these discussions because they kind of go from one area to another. So you
Hmm.
never know where the conversation's going to go
Yeah,
when we actually pick a certain theme to talk about.
yeah, that's the beauty of it, man. That's why
Mhm.
discussions like this are valuable because I mean, anybody watching this is going to get value in just a ton of different places.
Yeah, correct. Now, so you think it's important though, so for guys who are just going, and I think this is true, to find a when they're just starting to become good with women, should they find a balance between focusing on women and then focusing on other things? You think, or do you think it should just be more focusing on you? But you got to kind of find a balance.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I think every guy struggles with. I mean, myself included. Kind of finding where do you put in most of your time. So
Yeah.
I don't really believe in extremes in any way. I think like being too focused on girls isn't the answer, and being too focused on your life and disregarding women forever isn't the answer either.
Hmm.
So I do think there is a balance of, you know, more or less focusing on yourself. Like that should be your number one priority. But once you have women in your life, you obviously have to treat them well, be a good guy, know how to actually like court them properly and all that stuff. So you do need a little level of investment on your end. Otherwise, what's the point of her sticking around? If you're not
Hmm.
giving her any value, why would she be there? So there is a fine line of focusing on yourself, being a guy on your purpose, being very intentional and focusing on your improvement. That's number one. But like when you're with a girl, I would say like you do have to include her in some of those things. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Like if you want a relationship long term, having somebody come along with you, that's great. But there is definitely a fine balance between being a man on a mission and just being social and just like meeting people and having a good time.
Right. No, that's true. Like, it's weird. My balance tends to like fluctuate depending where I'm at in my life. Like right now,
Mm,
I'm busy, so my most of my stuff's more focused on me rather than with women. But I'm
yeah.
sure once I get over that, like I'm gonna go back to it. But then even when I do that, I have to focus on other things. I don't make it
Hmm.
a I'm a bit selfish in a way because like when I schedule my dates and stuff, I have to work. I want to work it around my schedule. you know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Well, you have to. You have to be that way because you ain't gonna work around her schedule because then you're not leading at that point.
right? Exactly. I was talking about this a bit when I was on with Come On Man podcast last week. I was even saying
Hmm.
like I had some women call me out like because like I only like have 20-minute phone conversations and they somehow would realize that. But I'm like I can't invest. Like I remember when I made women a priority, I'd have like hour phone conversations,
Yeah.
maybe even more than that. But
Yep.
like I can't put the time. And like I told somebody, I got stuff. I have a life, not just
Exactly.
you.
I did the same thing, man. I would talk. I had phone conversations with girls for I think the longest I've ever had was maybe 3 hours, like over the phone, talking nonstop. And this was like at 2 in the morning. We were just talking all night. And I mean, I'm at the place now where there's no way that's possible. Like, not even for girls, but I don't have time for any phone call to be that long. Like, I got stuff to do. I got things I got to finish up. I got myself to take care of. That's just too much time to invest into something. So yeah, it comes down to just knowing what your priorities are again.
Right. No, and like so when you have priorities, you got to prioritize other things in your life than just women. Like I think if you like just make it all about women, it's gonna be it's just I mean your life's gonna be pretty bland. Yeah, you sure can say
Yeah.
you banged a lot, but I think you got to go out there and create awesome stuff. Create an awesome life. Go do this. Go do that.
Hmm.
Go to the Barbie pool party.
Legit. Yeah, like experiment. Like have a fulfilling life. If your life is nothing but getting girls and that's it, I mean, you're not gonna have much fun. Like it might be temporarily, but you're gonna get worn out really quick.
hmm Right, exactly. I mean, and the same, the same can go with any other thing in your life. I mean, I realize too that sometimes, like I work a lot, to the point where I just am exhausted sometimes, and sometimes I think I had to find a balance on that. I mean, it's good to focus on something big, but at the same time, that can drain you, and
Hmm.
it can affect your well being, and that's again boils down to having awareness of that and creating, just kind of getting out of that situation to if you can when you make time for more exciting things because like you don't want to just constantly work. What if you okay we have Frank asked a question right here. So what if you diversify your activity? What do you think about that?
Well, that would depend on what your activity is. I mean, I think you should. Like, I'll just throw out a couple examples just in my life, like what I do. So I like to go to like social events, like business conferences. So I'll go on this thing called Eventbrite, and it's an app just like meetup.com. You can search just different events in your area, and you could go to multiple different events. Like there's like cooking events, music events. I go to the business events. I like to be in conferences, networking, stuff like that. And those are all very different things. You can also get into something like I mentioned music. If you like playing guitar, for example, I play guitar. I'll experiment with some music here
Got
and
my
there.
guitar right here, man.
Hell yeah, man.
I actually just got a Fender amp for this thing, so I'm going to be jamming with my friends, and he's a keyboard player. So
Hell yeah. I love, dude. That's a great activity right there. Jamming out to music with some friends and
Mhm.
just enjoying yourself. Like, not every activity has to be work. It could also be fun or, having a creative environment like playing music or, going for walks in the park. I do that as well. Like I like just go for a hike, go for a walk. Um, Very simple guy. That stuff like that just makes me relaxed and peaceful. So it's kind of just finding what works for you. It's not going to be the same for everybody, But yeah, you definitely should diversify the things that you do, I believe.
Right. No, that's true though. Like, and everyone's going to have their own, things that bring them pleasure. You don't have to copy
Mhm.
what other people are doing. Do what you enjoy. And I think, like, see, we're talking. This is another thing. When you kind of go out there and you explore some of the activities that you enjoy a lot more, I mean, that's where you're going to attract those type of people into your life. It can be, you can
Yeah.
find a woman that way.
That's something I always say in my content is when you get a lifestyle that's fulfilling and that's high quality, you naturally attract high quality relationships. Well, not just strictly with lifestyle, you have to be a high quality person too, a high quality man. Then you attract high quality relationships. So if I go to a music concert or see an artist that I really like, other people there, they're going to be into the same thing I'm into, obviously. So it's easy to start a conversation. It's easy to open up and say, "Yo, how long you been liking this band? I love them. Oh, I've been going to their concerts every year." Like it's an easy conversation starter. So the idea behind being social, making friends, and even meeting women, you're not really like searching outside of yourself. It's all just you're on your path, you're doing what you love to do, you're enjoying your life, and the people in your environments, they're going to be people that you potentially can connect with. And it's a much easier approach than just like, I'm going to the mall or something just to talk to 10 people a day, which you can do if you're very new to things, but I find it's much more enjoyable when it's just things that you naturally already like to do.
Right. No, that's good. And Frank, you should definitely attend meetup events too. I heard those are very awesome.
Yeah, those are key.
No, I know Frank. He's part of my group.
Oh,
I
okay. Gotcha,
just fucking
gotcha.
with him. He knows that.
Yeah,
But but no, yeah, definitely. Like and also like there's meetup groups for some other activities too that you enjoy, not just like going to bars and stuff. Like I got an
yep,
SEO, I got a dating. I'm gonna start doing the dating one a bit more and everything. I have a dating meetup group that I
mm,
started. I
nice.
haven't done much with that lately. But once I get through the next few weeks, I'm going to use that more to do stuff locally and stuff. So looking forward to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all about diversifying what you do. I mean, that's you kind of have to be a well-rounded guy. Just do a bunch of different things that you like, and some things might overlap, some things might be completely different, but it's just whatever you enjoy doing.
Right. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna get going here in a bit because I actually got to do some work. But one of the things I want to do, like on our next show, is like maybe we would set talk about like setting goal, some challenges. Like we can do talking, how to go out there and meet women and just give people some challenges and everything that they
Yeah,
can do for themselves because that's what I'm going to be promoting a lot of this more like on the shows, setting challenges in my life and documenting that. So I want to
sure.
kind of get, I think that'd be fun and we can talk about it. But yeah, tell everyone where we can find you. And Frank, be sure to subscribe to Tino's channel. He has really good content. But yeah, where can they find you, buddy?
Yeah, if you just search up The Sophisticated Man, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, and on YouTube. I haven't made a lot of YouTube videos lately, but I am coming back to it. I think this month I want to start cranking out some more long form videos. I've been just super
Rock
focused
on.
on Instagram. But yeah, you just search up my name on all three of those, and then I should show up.
I really like that. I think I was looking through Instagram the other day. I really liked the video you did where you had one video of yourself that says your normal self, then you had your one video of you in the leather jacket. I thought that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really creative.
yeah. I was I was calling out some pickup artists that I've seen online and just kind of making fun of them.
Oh, really? I didn't listen to it, but I saw it because you know how you have them muted and everything, like when you
Mhm.
do it. Like, what pickup artist were you calling out?
I mean, it wasn't anybody in particular, just like the idea of like certain pickup artists and how they have some like really cheesy lines or just like corny things that they say. I was calling out some like just certain like red pill mindsets. I was just kind of making fun of it.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it was
gonna go
fun.
back and play it. But I like that real. Like I thought that was very creative how you switch from one person to another person.
Yeah, those are fun to make. I might do some more of them.
Yeah, that's very cool. But yeah, be sure to check this guy's channel out. He's really good. I've been on this channel a couple times. We got to do a show on your channel. It's been a while since we've done one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Like I said, once I start getting some YouTube videos cranking out, yeah, we could definitely hop on a podcast or something.
yeah, better because I'm pissed now. I'm fucking at Just-
I got to get you
but
back on.
yeah, I know. But yeah, same here. I've just mostly been, yeah. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. I've mostly been doing shorts lately. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but next month, when things wind down with this contracting job I'm doing, I'm definitely going to get some more content on there. I'm still doing weekly shows. Next week, I'll be on next Sunday with Alpha Villains. So you don't want to miss out on that one. I'll be sure to share it in the notifications and everything. And yeah, be sure to subscribe, share this with your friends. And yeah, Tino and I will be back here again to give you some kick-ass content, and definitely rock on and have a great day. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, guys. And hey, you got a new subscriber, buddy. You got to thank Frank. He subscribed. Frank's
I just
awesome.
saw that, man. Appreciate you.
No, Frank's a good guy. Like I've known him for a while. And he seems like he's all about self improvement and stuff. So like Frank, I'll give you a thumbs up for taking the initiative. Listen to this guy's channel. He's really got some good stuff. He's got has to say about development and stuff. And yeah, and he kind of like me, we both do like both the mindfulness, focusing on yourself. And then we throw in a little bit of the dating stuff to like make it kick ass and everything. So you're definitely going to love it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You got to give him a thumbs up, Tino. You got to get a thumbs up, buddy.
Yeah, man. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you, bro. I mean, I'm all about giving value. So yeah, check it out and see what you like in there, man.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you in a few weeks. Until then, rock on, take control of your life, and you have the power within you to command your confidence and make shit happen rather than living a life that is unfulfilling and shitty. Take care. Until next time, rock on.